Wow, check out that old house. Pretty cool surroundings too. I mean, just look at this place. So welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. I am at a state park here in Louisiana on the North Shore. This is Fairview Riverside State Park. Got the Chafunct River right over there. This place is pretty cool. Pretty old house right behind me. It's called the Otis House. It's an old plantation house. Nice grounds, nice garden, awesome Spanish moss. What a cool setting to fish in, right? So this is a Saturday. You could call it 4th of July weekend if you like. 4th of July is coming up in a few days in the middle of the week next week. So this weekend or next weekend, take your pick. Could be 4th of July weekend. Not too crowded out here today. There's a few people on the bank where I'm gonna fish over there. There's a lot of spots here. I don't have to go fish with them. But the problem is that there's a lot of pleasure boaters on the river. But it's not so much a problem for me because I don't have to just fish the river here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Somebody left a rod up here for me at the picket fence. I bet I know who did that. Before this was a state park, it was a plantation, and it's been here a long, long time. So what we have here is an arm coming off the river, which is part of the mill. They used to have a mill here, and they have a mill pond. But this is the shallow bed of the arm that comes up here. It's kind of choked. Could be bowfin, probably bass and gar. There's a mill pond though. Let's go check that out. I just can't resist. I'm not gonna be able to get to the mill pond without doing a cast. I saw something over here. This water is super shallow. It's usually pretty choked. I've only been here 2 other times, I think. This is my 3rd visit. Here we are. This is the mill pond. It's right behind the house here. Now, the last 2 times I visited this place, this was choked and I couldn't really fish it. Like extremely choked, but it's not choked today. I don't think it's super deep, but there is some kind of activity in it. It's probably holding some kind of fish right now. We're throwing a stick bait by Yum. That's a June bug Yum dinger. Yeah, I see some gar activity. There could be some bass mixed in with this. This is the solar noon bite. Couldn't get here super early in the morning, so we're here for solar noon and probably going to stay for the afternoon bite. This might be a long haul, people. Let's do our first cast out here. We're going to do an angle cast over about in the mouth of where it comes in, and then we're going to bring the bait along here. Not close to that grass for this cast, but it's kind of like the break line. We're looking for the break line of this pond, like where the little drop off is, where fish are holding or using it like a racetrack around the pond to ambush bait. I'm throwing this bait weightless today on a offset size 3 worm hook by Gamakatsu. There's no wind out here right now, that's why we're throwing weightless. I'm coming closer to where the water comes into the pond at, where all this floating vegetation is. Cool thing about over here is they have actual lily pads, which I don't get to fish very often on the South Shore in Orleans Parish. They're not there. Because this bait is Texas rigged, you know, and Tex post, it's going to come through this grass here a lot better. Got him. What did we get? Little dink, finally. Man, that is awesome. I knew they had to be somewhere. I've been getting hit repeatedly by fish while I was fishing, but all these little holes up at the head of the bait tell me that it's mostly been gar out of that mill pond. It's a nice little dink. I'll take that. You can go back though. All right, so we've got 1 bass so far, but I haven't done the whole bass fishing circuit thing here. We've done a little bit of that arm over there and the mill pond, which was mostly gar bites. And there's this arm over here that we haven't done yet. So we're gonna switch things up, but first let's run through this arm this leads up to where people launch kayaks, because I keep seeing kayaks come through here. Let's see what's up with this. Yes, please don't get stuck in there. Oh, he's stuck in there again. This is the second fish to go right into that. I didn't even feel the bite. I just saw the line. The line moved, and then I knew he was there. We're gonna have to get in the water. These lilies are almost a death trap. Oh, damn it. That's the second fish. Man, I'm gonna get obsessive. Urgh. Finally, I didn't lose the fish in the damn lilies. Oh, he came up out of nowhere. Whew, obsession is almost over. Yeah, you're right. Nice little dink. Go back. All right, now that I caught a couple of bass, it's time to switch things up. But before I do, look who's here with me. It's James. Now, James has a channel too, and I'd like you to go down in the description later on and click on the link and check out his channel, because he was so kind to drive all the way out here on the North Shore. Now it's time to switch things up. There's something I've always wanted to do, and I am frustrated with bass. I'm not bored with them, just frustrated after losing two nice ones in the lilies, and I lost a bowfin over here too. We're gonna switch things up. We're gonna do this. I've always wanted to catch gar on bass gear, so let's give that a go. First, we've got to catch some bait. Because of all the submerged vegetation in this area, I'm not going to do my drop shot tradition for my bait. We're going to use a size 6 Aberdeen with a bit of red wiggler on it, and we're going to put that underneath a float, a weighted float. Now, I'm not going to put any split shot on this line. I'm just going to go for a natural presentation here. To start, we have 2 feet underneath this float. That might be too much for right here. Might not. Hook is under, and here we go. A nice little bit of bait there. Nice gill. I don't want a big piece of bait. I'm just going to cut little chunks off each side. Here we have one of my bass rods. This is a Daiwa. It has 12-pound test on it. So we're going to float fish for this gar or bowfin, because I've been seeing bowfin here. We're going to use a float for these bowfin or gar, and we have about 3/8 ounce of a weight, a bead, a swivel. Now, like I said, the main line is 12-pound, but the leader is actually 50. And the reason why I'm using a hefty leader down to an 04 octopus hook that someone sent me a long time ago is because the fish I'm looking for right now have teeth, and I want to go after them with light line, but not steel leader. I don't have any steel leader with me, but 50-pound test will last a long time with their teeth. They're not going to cut through this right away. I'm going to throw that out there and just leave it, because I'm getting bored. There's some bass activity here, so while we're fishing that float for gar or bowfin, we're going to throw a June bug yum dinger stick bait. Nice. That's a little bit better of a bass coming out of here. Still a dink, but we'll put them back to the dink farm. Let me tell you, the frustration is starting to really get to me. At least I didn't get skunked. Losing those fish in the lily pads really sucked. It's really tough to get a fish through those lily pads, but there were some nice ones in there. I lost 2 in a row in there, and a bowfin just a little further down. Did get some fish out of here. I was trying to get a gar on one of my medium bass rods. Way too frustrated now. That didn't happen. So it's time to get out of here. I'm gonna go watch some anime and chill. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.